universe, source of all life, we understand that each and every one of us have our own understanding of what the divinity of universe and the divinity of self is. Help us today to find commonality, to find respect for each other's path, and to share in the joy and the vastness of your love for each and every one of us by loving each other. And so it is. I'm like all emotional today. I don't know what's going on with me.
Well, you look beautiful.
Well, thank you. Okay, so I had promised one of our associate ministers that I would do a service or a lesson on the 4 agreements and break them up into each agreement. So this morning we'll be talking about the first agreement, which is being impeccable with your word. And so I thought a lot about, of course I've read this book more than once, and it is one of my favorite books, and I use it in my life every day. Hey! And so I wanted to discuss what that is in a broader, deeper sense, being impeccable with your word and what the word is. So most of us have been at one time in an argument with somebody, or a discussion with somebody, or a debate with somebody, and they said something to you that was not kind. Yes? Okay. And once that was said, even if they came back to you later and said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, it was the heat of the moment, I wasn't thinking, I didn't really think that would continue on after tomorrow, or it was just, I was in the moment when I said it, could you please forgive me? And what do we say? Yes, of course we forgive you. But one of the things that happens with us is that comment, that word, that hurtful phrase has now become substantiated. It's substantial. It has some gravity. It has some substance. Yeah? Mm-hmm. The word creates. It is the creative process. And through this manifestation, things become substantial. So how important is it, the word? It is very important. Very important. Because even though we forgave, we didn't forget. We try. We try to forget. Oh, no. But you know what? 12 years from now, that is there. It has become a life of its own. It's become something that cannot easily be erased. And so it's very, very important that we understand the nature of the word in order for us to understand how important it is that we become impeccable with our word. So understanding the word, the power of the word. All of us have words that we use that are our power words. Some of us have words that we use on a regular basis that define us. I use words to help you to remember lessons that I teach you. Like, for example, your 4 feet. You have control over your 4 feet, right? So we know what that means. If you said it to somebody that's never been here to Tosa, or you've said it to somebody that has never heard that phrase before, they're like, what does that mean, your 4 feet? But for you, it's powerful. That means that's me. That's my area of control. That's my space of influence, myself, my 4 feet. So words do have power. They create in our mind images and ideas, and then from those images and ideas, once they're spoken into reality, they become substantial constructs and structures. So that's the word. No small thing. It's a powerful thing, our words. They're meant to inspire people. They're meant to express ideas and thoughts and love and emotions. And sometimes they're meant to warn. So we use them and we think really hard about the words that we're going to use when we're trying to convey ideas to people. Because we want them to really understand what it is that we're trying to express. So, that's the word. That's the word. If that wasn't intense enough, the serious, profound meaning of what a word is, then how about being impeccable? Clear, concise, clean, right, just. That is a difficult thing. So how do we do that? How do we become impeccable with our word? We have to examine our thoughts and our intentions on a regular basis. So where do these come from? Our thoughts and our intentions issue from the throne of all motivation, our heart. The things that are in our heart then are issued into our mind, and then we speak them into existence, right? So y'all can look at you want to get your picture taken? Look at the camera, I'll grab you and show you to everybody. So,
you have my permission, go ahead.
yeah, I love them all. I'll grab them and kiss them all. So being impeccable with your word is not just saying, I'm impeccable with my word. It's a process. It's a work. It's a regular routine of examining the motivation of your heart, so that when you're issuing that forward into fruition, into mind, and then into voice, you know what you're putting out there. You know what you're trying to create. You know what you're trying to construct. So let's talk a little bit about that. We do that with people, of course. We don't want to say things that are cruel or unkind or unmindful. Right? We live a mindful existence, a mindful life. So we'll just offhandedly say stuff. Just keep saying it. Talk louder. So that's important.
Oh, the babies.
Oh, they're wonderful.
I love kids too.
You know what a church without children is? Dead.
Dead.
So we love that we're alive.
Lie there.
Okay. So being mindful is also being aware of, sometimes even if we have to tell somebody something that's difficult or truthful, saying it in a way that inspires compassion and love, as opposed to just saying what we want to say. And I have many friends, including myself, from New Jersey, that kind of tell it like it is. Oh, I just tell it like it is. Well, that's all fine and good. Guess what? Let your words be seasoned with salt. You know why? Because someday you will have to eat them. Many times. So if they're sweet, you don't mind eating your words. If they're harsh, that comes back to you. That is not a pleasant meal. Not a pleasant meal at all. So that's just in dealing with our interactions with each other. Of course, our words are coming from that place in our heart to start with, right? So we need to be examining what we're feeling for others. Are we being harsh? Are we being critical? Are we being difficult? Are we assessing our journey and reflecting that on others? This is my truth. This is my reality, and I want you to buy into my truth and my reality. No. So examining your heart, making sure that your heart is in line with what it is that you're expressing is very important as far as being impeccable with your word. Now, the other side of being impeccable with your word is what's going on in here with you personally. What kind of internal conversation are you having with yourself? What is issuing from your heart to you? How do you value yourself? How do you view yourself? How do you feel about your existence? What kind of conversations are you having? What kind of words are you using to describe yourself? How many of us have said this? Oh, I'm so stupid. Do you really believe that? No. Then don't say it. Oh, you're such a jerk. I can't believe you did that. Don't say it. Don't say those things to yourself. You wouldn't want someone else to say that to you. That would hurt your feelings. Do you think that saying those things to yourself doesn't hurt your feelings?
Yeah, it does.
Of course it does. Of course it does. Oh, I hate the way that I look. Oh, I hate my hair. Oh, I hate my body. Oh, I hate this or I hate that. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. And your word takes things and gives them substance. That is not true. You're lying about yourself. That is not being impeccable with your word. So the conversations that we have inside our heads about ourselves, we need to be mindful of them. We need to be compassionate. You know, the Buddha said, the person that you most need to be compassionate to is you. Who is the hardest person to be compassionate to? You. It takes discipline. It takes mindfulness. And so when we're talking about being impeccable with our word, it's not just a phrase. Oh, that means my yes means yes and my no means no. Absolutely, it does mean that. When you promise to do something, you should do your very best to fulfill that promise. When you say no, don't waver. Be firm. Be firm in the way that you express your truth. But that's not all. There's all these layers and facets to the impeccability of your word. Are you somebody that's one way? That's me. I say that about myself all the time. You know Suzanne, because if you go to Suzanne and ask her a question, what kind of answer are you going to get? You probably already know the answer before you go to her. Guaranteed.
Not me. Every time
Because
we
I'm
talk,
one way. I'm one way. You know how I feel. You know what I think. So you know what I'm going to say. Are you like that? Are you one way? Or do you say, no, I'm not going to do that, and then 2 weeks later you're doing it? Do you give in?
Depends on what I'm dealing with.
Be impeccable with your word then.
Yeah, I know. It depends on what I'm dealing with.
And it's, like I said, this is a process. So when you're going through the process of becoming impeccable with your word, there's going to be times when you catch yourself up. I did it. I did that to myself. I said that thing. I gave it life. Can you take it back? No. But you know what you can do? You can learn. I know each and every one of you in here. And each and every one of you have a fine mind. You are an awakened soul who is searching for a deep, meaningful, and profound relationship with Spirit. That means that you're alive and awake and aware and intelligent. You can do it. All you have to do is want to. You have to want to. So, my job today is to make you want to do that. How can I make you want to do that? To be impeccable with your word. Real simple. I want you to think really hard right now. Just think for a second about somebody who said something to you that you can't get out of your head. Think about it. I don't care who it was, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a child, a mother. Chances are it's somebody very close to you that said something that hurt you to your soul. Now, if you could make that go away, just like that, like it never happened at all, would you do it? Of course you would. Of course you would. So you can. How can you do that? By not being the one who does that to someone else. And how do you do that? By practicing being impeccable with your word. Do you want to be the one that the person is thinking of right now? No. Never. I never want to be that person that I said something to someone and it hurt them so much that they can't let go of it and it's somewhere filed in the back of their mind. I want to be the one who said something to them that's filed in the back of their mind that makes them feel amazing
And
and impeccable and powerful, inspired, creative, intelligent, free. That's who you are. That's what you are. Speak words of healing to each other, kindness to each other, build each other up. The world will tear you down. Work on being impeccable with your word. It's a powerful tool, it's a powerful skill, and it's in your hands now. Everybody in this room now has that tool in their spiritual toolbox to use every single day from now on. So no excuse. If you don't use it and you use, a butter knife instead of a screwdriver, that's up to you. That makes your job way harder. Makes life way harder. Let's make it easier for all of us. And I leave that with you. God's blessing.
Thank you.
Namaste.